Wind River is a thriller film and is written and directed by Taylor Sheridan and stars Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen. And much like the last two films that Taylor Sheridan wrote the screenplays for, Sicario and Hello High Water, Taylor Sheridan once again delivers another great screenplay. In fact, I think this is the best screenplay that Taylor Sheridan has written so far. And being that this film is also Taylor Sheridan's directorial debut, I knew this was going to be a special film, and this film was mind-blowing. Taylor Sheridan is able to give us a film that has good writing, great performances, great cinematography, and a very enticing story. To start off with this film, I'm going to talk about the performances. Easily the standout of the film is Jeremy Renner. This is one of the best Jeremy Renner performances I have seen in a while. In fact, I'd probably put this in his top 5 best performances. Jeremy Renner is able to add so much weight and subtlety to his performance, and this was a character that I was fully invested in. The film at many points tells details of Jeremy Renner's character's backstory, who he is, why he does what he does, how far he'll go to get the job done. In fact, a lot of the supporting characters were very interesting as well, but there was one performance that stuck out like a sore thumb, and that was Elizabeth Olsen. She's not terrible in this movie, but I do think she was miscast, and a lot of that has to do with how this character has been written. A lot of times in this film, Elizabeth Olsen's character acts very clueless, like she has no idea what is going on, and I just didn't buy Elizabeth Olsen as this character. I didn't believe in her character. Had this character been portrayed by an older actress and the character was written better, the character would have been much more interesting than what she was. The cinematography in this movie is the best I've ever seen. A lot of the shots are done so subtle that it adds a uniqueness to the film. And even though the runtime for this film is 100 minutes long and this film is very slow paced, it's never boring. The film was able to tell a good story with the runtime it had, and the pacing was done at the right level that it wasn't boring. And that's why I also have to praise the dialogue in this movie. I was invested in every scene. And this is one of those rare films that I've come across where the slow pacing and the writing mix together perfectly. I also have to praise the realism in this movie. This film is not afraid to go to the dark side. There are some pretty intense scenes in this movie. A lot of these intense scenes are the most shocking thing I have seen in a film in a while. However, much like Sicario and Hella High Water, there's something about this film that holds me back from truly liking it. And much like Sicario and Hella High Water, Wind River has a very unrewarding payoff to it. Because when we get to the scene when we find out who did the crime, the payoff just wasn't worth it. Now, I know this won't affect people, but for me, this is the same problem that I had with the last two films that Taylor Sheridan wrote. The film, for the majority of it, is great, but then the payoff is really unrewarding. And in the end, I just didn't think the ending was worth it. Overall, if you're a fan of Taylor Sheridan's writing, you'll definitely enjoy this film. He once again delivers a knockout screenplay, and I personally think this is the best screenplay he's ever written. But also add the fact that Taylor Sheridan has more creative control over this movie, and we have a film that is a great directorial debut. And like I stated earlier, the cinematography is great, the story is fantastic, the performances were amazing, but like I said, the only thing that is holding me back from truly liking this movie is the payoff to the movie and Elizabeth Olsen's character. But overall, I still found this to be a great movie, and this film is a must-see. And I'm gonna give Wind River an 8.5 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, be sure to like my Facebook page, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe to my channel below. As always, I'm NETX5. Thank you so much for watching.